Incest. The act of two family members having sexual intercourse. While true that kids born from incest have a high chance of severe abnormalities, what's actually wrong with it? Incest has widely negative connotations attached to it, even when both participants are consenting adults. Of course, sexual abuse is never okay, but when both individuals are above the age of consent, is there actually a problem with it? In this video, we will try to educate the viewer on what makes incest so taboo. From a scientific standpoint, incest is full of consequences. Looking at the genetics of a person, you get half of your genes from your mother and half from your father. Each family is known to have a diseased gene somewhere in the genetic makeup, which basically means you have the potential for severe genetic disorders. If you do get a broken gene from a parent, it is likely that the other parent has a non-broken gene and it will mask the effect of the broken gene. When inbreeding or incest occurs, there is a much higher chance that the kid could have both broken genes, which could cause a gene mutation and possibly a disorder. Another flaw in incest deals with your immune system. When two people mate from different families, the child has a diverse immune system that has a good chance of defending off of unwanted illnesses. In the product of inbreeding, the child has a less diverse DNA and a lesser chance of defending off bad illnesses, so therefore you may have a sickly child. The world we live in has become very accepting of new ideas. Gay marriage is legal, and sex reassessment surgery is available. Still, two people who are related cannot have sex in the US. Although in some countries, like France, Turkey, and China, two adults who are related to each other may have sex. Although there are some state laws that are a little loose in their definition of incest, for example, in Maryland, only vaginal incest is illegal. Every state in the US prohibits incest except for Rhode Island, where it's legal. Not marriage, but, the other stuff. The Westermarck effect helps explain why incest is not very common. The Westermarck describes that being in close proximity with someone while you're young negates the ability to form a sexual attraction to them. For example, I grew up with my mom, dad, grandmother, and brother, and because of that, I can't even entertain the idea of being sexually attracted to them. By the same theory, if I grew up living with my brother's friend, I would not be sexually attracted to him either. If I started dating the friend, it would be socially acceptable. However, I can't think of anywhere that I'd be accepted if I started dating my brother.
Incest! It's really rare and not very common around the world. So I'm trying to figure out, why is it frowned upon? Is it because society is the part that makes it seem unfair? Or maybe it's just our local views? Now, I'm really struggling to find out why it's really, really bad. Or why it's looked down upon. But we wanted this video to look on both sides of the agreement. And I guess we will. It's completely fine. Easier to access one another. Since you're really in close proximity, you get to see each other all the time. You'll be able to know the ins and outs, what they like, what they don't like, where they're going, so it'll be fine. In some states, it's actually already legal. In Rhode Island, you're actually able to consent to incest, but you're not allowed to have kids. People are allowed to marry their cousins already. Maryland, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, you're able to marry your first, second, third, fifth cousin, but it's still frowned upon. And there are very, very few people who still fall in love with their mothers, their fathers, their sisters, their brothers, their uncles, their aunts, and they're still family. So does the Westermarck really explain everyone else? Or does it just pertain to the majority of people since society looks down upon it? Boing! So my question for you is, where do we go from here about incest? Should it be decriminalized? Should it be more socially acceptable? Or can you provide me with any other reasons why incest is wrong or why it's totally acceptable? Because just because society says it's wrong doesn't make it actually wrong. But give me your viewpoints, okay? Bye!